Hello, class. Pause the video and take a few minutes to answer the warm-up questions. Looking at question 1, it said, which of the following is equivalent to 8x minus 10n? You can see answer choice A is not correct because the second term gives you negative 24, so it's 8x minus 24. Half of 4 is 2, you get 2x. Half of negative 20 is negative 10. So the second term is correct, the first term is not. Looking at answer choice C, 2 times 4 is 8x. 2 times negative 5n is negative 10n, so that will be the correct answer. And answer choice D is incorrect because it shows a negative and a positive answer, and it should have been positive negative. Question 2, which of the following correctly shows 20% of $42.10? 10% of $42.10 is $4.21. If you add 421 times 2, or you add them together, you'll get 842. Question 3, so evaluate when m is equal to 2, v is equal to negative 8, and 3 is, I think that's it. M is equal to 2, v is equal to negative 8. So we just got to replace the v in the parentheses with a negative 8 for its value, and I replace the m beside the 4 with a 2. So when you add the two numbers together on the inside, they're both negative, so you should get negative 10 with 8, negative 8 minus 2. And you should get 4 times 2 is 8. So you multiply the 3 by the negative 10 to get negative 30. Bring down the 8. You have more negatives than positives, so you should get negative 22. In question 4, if you look at negative 4b, positive 2a, negative 5b, positive 8a, and I put all the a's together, I have 2a plus 8a. That should give me 10a. And for the b's, I have a negative 5, and I have a negative 4. That gives me negative 9b. So the answer should be 10a minus 9b. The daily dose, constant of proportionality equations. 2 pizza stores are hiring drivers. Store A uses the equation y is equal to 11.5x, where y is the total paid and x is the number of hours worked. Store B shows their pay scale in the table below. Looking at the y value for the first one, you can see that it is 120. The x value is 12. So we're going to take a look and see which answer is correct. So as you can see from the table, if I took the 120, which is my y value, and the 12, which is the x value, you can see that store A, the equation is y is equal to 11.5x. And when I do the math with 120 divided by 12, it gives me 10. So the equation is y is equal to 10x. There's a difference of $1.50 for each one of the stores. So store A has a better sale, or pays the employee more, about $1.50 an hour. So the learning essential question is, how can fractions with unlike denominators be evaluated? Match each of the fractions sets to get the common denominator. Some of them will have more than one answer. So if you take 1/3 and 2/4, the common denominator would be 12. So I'm going to slide the answer to the right location. Okay, now we're on the right page. So I'm going to take this, and the common denominator is 12. If you take a look at 3 and 5, the common denominator for 3 and 5 is going to be 15. So these two fractions goes here. For 10 and 2, the common denominator is 10. And if you look at 5, 6, and 1/2, the common denominator is 6. And I don't think it's included on the page, but it is 6. A 4th, a 5th, and a 10th common denominator for the 3 is going to be 20. And for 8 and 4, the common denominator is going to be 8. Now you take a look at the examples, 1/4 minus 3/6 plus 1/2. In order to add these or subtract, you're going to have to find a common denominator for 4, 6, and 2. Look like all these three numbers share the same common denominator of 12. So if I multiply 4 times 3, I get 12. So 3, and do the same thing with the numerator. So 1 times 3 is 3. 6 times 2 is 12. So 3 times 2 is 6, or negative 6. And 1 times 6 is 12. 6 times 1 is 6. So now I write the new fractions with the same denominator. This is a positive, negative, positive. So 3 minus 6 is a negative 3. A negative 3 plus 6 should give you negative 3, or negative 3/12, or negative 1/4. Take a minute to answer this question, finding the common denominator for 5, 4, and 10. If you write 3/5, 1/4, or negative 1/4, negative 7/10, the common denominator would be 20. 10 times 2 is 20. 2 times negative 7 is negative 14. Negative 4 times 20 is getting negative, you're going to get a negative 5. So negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. And 5 times 4 is 20. So the 4 times 3 in the numerator should give you 12. So now with the new fraction written with the same denominator, all we have to do is subtract. So I got a positive 12 minus 5 gives me 7. And 7 minus 14 gives me negative 7 over 20. Try the next one. The 1/8 minus 2/4 minus 1/2. Find a common denominator for 8, 4, and 2. Common denominator for 8, 4, and 2 is 8. So a negative 1/2, or 2 times negative 4 is going to be 8. And 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 2 is 8. So 2 times negative 2 is going to give me negative 4. And the first fraction stays the same because it always has a denominator of 8. So writing a new fraction with the same denominator, we're going to take a positive 1/8 minus 4/8 minus 4/8. If I take 1/8 minus 4/8, I get negative 3/8. Negative 3/8 minus 4/8 gives me negative 7/8. Try these two. So 3/6 minus 1/3 plus 3/4. Again, we're looking for the common denominator, or the first number that they all three share in common, and it looks like it's 12. So 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times, or negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. 4 times 1 is 4, or negative 4. 6 times 2 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6. So now that we have the same denominator, we can take a 6/12 minus 4/12 plus 9/12. 6/12 minus 4/12 is 2/12. 2/12 plus 9/12 is 11/12. Negative 7/8 plus 1/2 minus 3/4. Again, finding the same common denominator for each fraction. 8, 2, and 4 have a common denominator, or the first multiple that they share is 8. So this is a negative 3/4, or negative 4 times 2 is 8. So a negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 4 is 4. 8 times 1 is 8. Or negative 8 times 1 is 8. 7 times 1 is 7. So now we have a negative 7 of 4/8 and a negative 6/8. So we're going to take a negative 7 plus 7/8 plus 4/8 minus 6/8. Negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3. Negative 3 minus 6 is negative 9. So you get an answer of negative 9/8. If you need to go back and watch the video again to make sure that you understand the concept, You can watch it as many times as you need to. Now, once you finish the video, you need to see the teacher for a worksheet to complete the day's assignment. You're going to turn the completed work in to me on Friday. Have a good day, guys.